All right, here we go with another linear function word problem. So a load of 6 kilograms attached to the bottom of a coil spring stretches the spring to a length of 67 centimeters, and a load of 16 kilograms stretches it to a length of 92 centimeters. Find the natural, unstretched length of a spring. Okay, so before we get to the question, let's come up with the equation that would model the situation. So 6 kilograms is attached to the bottom of a coil spring and it stretches it to a length of 67 centimeters. So there's our first ordered pair. And again, let's make sure off on the side we understand what each variable is representing. So 6 kilograms, that's how much weight is attached to the bottom of a spring. So we're going to say X represents our weight. And then the 67, that is going to be the length of the coil because it stretches as you put a weight on the bottom. All right, so now we've got our second piece of information. 16 kilograms stretches the coil to 92 centimeters. So 16 and 92. So you have your x1, your y1, your x2, your y2. I don't know if you guys have noticed that these problems are all very similar. We start by finding the slope. So y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. 92 minus 67 is 25. 16 minus 6 is 10. That reduces to a 5 over 2. So then we take our slope and we pair it with our first point and we write our equation in point-slope form. Y minus 67 is equal to 5/2 times x minus 6. All right, solving for y, we distribute that slope. So y minus 67 is equal to 5/2 x minus 5/2 times a negative 6 is 15. Then we add 67 to both sides. So, so we have y equals 5/2 x plus 52. All right, so there's our equation that models the situation. Now we go back up to the problem and see what are they actually asking. So find the natural unstretched length of the spring. So if the spring, or I was calling it a coil before, yeah, coil, spring, same thing. If it's unstretched, that means that there's no weight on it. Remember, X was representing our weight, so that means that our weight is 0. There is no weight on it. Y represents the length of the coil, and that's what we want to figure out. How long is the coil unstretched, which means there's no weight on it. So all that we do is we take our equation and we plug in a 0 for the x, which will allow us to solve for y. Well, y is already solved for. 5/2 times 0 is 0, so we get 52. And we want to make sure we're using the appropriate unit. This is 52 centimeters. That is the natural unstretched length of the coil or spring.